This conference will now be recorded.
Zoning.
All right, the Cottage Grove Town Board will hold a public meeting beginning at 7 PM on Monday, July 19th, 2021 at the Town Hall at 4058 County Road Inn. You can also join the meeting by GoToMeeting. We have a quorum present. Meeting was posted at the Town Hall and on the website. We'll call the meeting to order and we'll stand for the flag pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You have the minutes of the July 6th meeting in your packet.
Move approval as presented.
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay to approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Finance report.
We have some closed session.
Oh.
Really?
Motion to approve the closed session minutes and to keep it closed
Second.
until the,
That was resolved.
yeah, thanks.
Motion by Andrews, second by Williams to approve the closed session minutes, keep them closed until the matter is resolved. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Finance report and approval of bills.
I mean, approval of checks 34,786 through 34,813 be paid.
Motion by Duplay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Fonger to approve checks 34,786 through 34,813 be paid. Any discussion on the motion?
This Purple Cow Organics, is this our first?
No, second.
Second, I missed the other.
No, it should,
First one.
first and second together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question on that. If I've got a burn pit and I burn all of my branches, can I bring all the ashes down here?
No.
I'm just asking. I just wanted to know.
Hot.
No, they're not hot. Duh.
Bring ashes.
Just was curious.
I don't think ashes were listed in what they accept.
No.
No, I mean, but you throw that in your garden or
Start
whatever.
them on your garden.
Yeah.
It's really more. They got, that thing is 4 feet deep.
Oh. On the motion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have your unaudited cash and investment balance of $2,600,912.27. And you have the June building permits.
Which I will move approval of as presented.
I want to know who can afford an $840,000 home.
A real
Hummer.
estate agent. Amber Hummer is a real estate agent.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Jesus.
Motion by Anders, second by
I'll second.
Duplay to approve the June building permits as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Do we have any update on the American Rescue Plan Act funds, what we might be able to do?
Not, no responses. I sent emails.
Take them forever.
Yeah, and I sent to that rule, I sent them or asked them to have more guidance for smaller towns on what they could use. And
Yeah.
I put that in there. And I asked again about the FEMA trailer. So nothing has been said back. And then I also did the calculation that the Towns Association had sent a spreadsheet to try to figure out if we had lost revenue that we could use to go against like roads or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's coming to a
We
zero.
didn't qualify?
No,
Surprise,
so I
surprise.
have all those numbers and if you want to look at that.
See, we should go to that meeting.
It wasn't debt.
It was a percentage of revenue. And
Yeah. Okay.
so I did that, yeah. And then I didn't get a chance to go through and see what the updates were for the frequently asked questions, but one of them was in here. Can the funds be used for eviction prevention efforts or housing stability services? And it says yes. So
That works for you.
I'll keep on reading it, I guess.
Yeah.
So how do you decide if you can use, if a guy came and said, hey, I'm gonna be evicted, I need $38,000. Do we have, as a board, go, I vote yes, or, you know what I mean? It just,
I think it has to be reasonable.
yeah, but I'm just saying, as, you know,
I guess it would be the board's decision. We would probably
yeah,
ask for guidance from Bill
yeah.
to make sure that we were right in the amount that we were giving.
Mhm.
I think the one thing that the recreational, it sort of leads you to believe you could do something for tourism or whatever. Yeah, but it doesn't really say what.
Say what?
That's, you know, like we talked about building a park down here or whatever. I mean, isn't that for tourism really? I
It
don't
does
know.
say in here that
Seems
porch
to me.
improvements would be,
That would be.
it would be included.
I don't see, I don't remember hearing that one before.
Yeah.
Well, that's something we should look at.
If
Mhm.
we want to build any of those
Yeah.
gazebo
Yeah.
or
Shelter.
shelter-like things.
Yeah.
The 2.18.
Really,
Did we, what did
really
we
nice
figure
one.
out as far as like stormwater or flood prevention and stuff like that?
Well, they've always said stormwater was a
Yeah.
usable thing, but
Well, I think the flood prevention stuff, if we want to use some of the money for the,
Koshkonong,
yeah, I think that's totally
yeah.
logical.
Looks, sounds
Or
like
the
it.
Yeah.
recontouring of the waterway in the park? On Damascus.
So it runs into your pool?
Yeah, no, it's high enough. I mean, let's put it this way. Everybody better get a boat. If the water gets high enough, then it's gonna run into my pool. It's-
Was that like a new response then that came out?
There should be a date next to it.
July 14th, 2021.
Yeah.
So that wasn't on there the first time we looked at this. So now we can at least look at doing some of this stuff.
Yeah,
I also sent a note in response when Kim sent that message around.
I did
Oh,
too.
that's good there. That's good. That's good.
I don't
So,
know if I'd want to get into rent remediation. That could be a real slippery slope.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if we want to go down that road.
no,
no,
but if we wanted to look at that park stuff, is that something we want to still try and do this year or
Yeah.
put it
Next
on
year.
next year's agenda?
Oh, I think any of
I
this,
think next year.
well,
considering-
anything we can do as soon as we can do it, the better it is.
Everything the Towns Association says, what are they using? Like, what's that phrase they're using? Patient something or whatever, you know, just be patient, don't get ahead of yourself. There's
Yeah.
time to use this money and it's not fleshed out yet.
Yeah.
You know, so don't get
And
ahead of it.
I still think that if
That's
we
right.
wait a little bit longer, the lumber prices are gonna stabilize.
True.
Yeah.
They've dropped quite a bit already,
Right.
but they'll stabilize.
But we could definitely get a plan ready.
We
Yeah.
could add that to the Parks Committee
Yes,
agenda for next spring.
Mhm.
See about putting them
Yeah.
Or this
in which and
winter.
what design they.
Or over the weekend
want.
sometime.
We might get a better price over the winter, you know, like we have
Yeah.
on playground
Oh,
equipment and
yeah.
stuff like that.
I think putting playground equipment back here would be a good thing. And gazebo of some kind or whatever,
Mhm.
shelter, park shelter.
Okay,
And dredging Koshkonong Creek.
Yep.
As Dave Neal mentioned.
Mhm.
and then when do you want your stuff for the end of the month?
July 30th, Friday, Friday.
Okay. It-
Yeah.
All right, next item, public concerns, public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that's not a specific agenda item. Do we have anybody online? No? Sir?
Yes, Main Road. My concern is with the Silas Road and Gaston Road with the DB being closed entirely, which was unnecessary to do their bus road work. But anyway, that was left happen. And when I talked to Dan a month ago about the 10-ton weight restriction, he said the police were notified of that. Subcontractors from Findorf are going through with track hose and triple axle, quad axle trailers and trucks with track hose on them. Jacobson is going through with their treble axle fuel trucks. Landmark is going through with their treble axle fuel trucks. Quick Trip is making a shortcut from the one there to here. Reinhardt is going through that way and nothing's being done on them, running with their outside wheels on the shoulder, kicking up gravel. And then we also have the concern with the speeding of the people that are taking that as a shortcut. It should have been posted with not for through traffic, but you get over to Sprecher Road and it says it's open to Gaston Road, which is an invite. Should be closed at Gaston Road. We've got to do something
It says
about
it's
that.
open till Vilas.
Pardon?
I think it says it's open till Vilas at Sprecher.
It says the Vilas, but they're using Vilas to Gaston to go around. Steady stream at extreme speeds.
And we have police force that's out there and they've written, how many tickets was it?
297 for traffic incidents.
Is that a day?
No.
In June.
Well, then they're missing a lot.
Well, you're gonna miss.
You
any kind of crime.
can't do traffic 24 hours a day. There's other things going on in the township where you gotta let traffic go a little bit.
No, we don't need to let them go a little bit. We need to control
Anything else?
them. No, just what's going to be done.
We're doing it.
Bring on extra officers if you need to.
Our officers have now been trained in weight limits enforcement.
About 2 days ago, that didn't happen when I talked to Dan over a month ago.
Things don't happen overnight.
He said they were notified.
We notify them, we notify the state
But
patrol
they
too.
can't enforce it? It's state down here then.
The state actually, you have to actually stop the vehicle where they're not supposed to be before it to be a violation.
That's right. Very simple to do.
And
And
how
also,
is
if
it is,
you notify,
do you have our officers just sit on Gaston Road for their entire 20-hour shift that they're here and do nothing else? No, they can't, Romy.
But we don't
They
know.
absolutely cannot.
come on, Steve, I've heard enough of you.
We don't know how many
You
trucks.
want me to regret I signed your nomination
There might
papers?
be 10 or 12 of
It has
them.
nothing to do with that, Romy.
Yeah, it does with you mouthing off at me.
All
I
right,
call
that's
that senior
enough.
abuse.
That's enough.
Now, that's enough from you, Steve.
No, sit down, please, Romy. We're done.
You haven't given me an answer yet, and I expect an answer.
I'll
What
put it
are you
on the
going to
next
do?
agenda.
What are you going to do?
I'll
You're
put
gonna
it
put
on
it
the
on the
next
agenda
agenda.
2
It's
months
not
late.
an action
Yeah.
item tonight.
Now,
It's not listed as an action item, sir. So I can't
it
take
should
any
have been
action.
2 months ago.
It was
And you did nothing about it.
State troopers know about it. They've got other things to do too besides just watch our township.
Well, they sit down there on the,
Any road right-of-way
Interstate.
permits?
No.
No road right-of-way permits. Review the June police activities. Good evening, Krista.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure before I interrupt anybody. I mean, as you guys can kind of see, the stats kind of seem more than I'm gonna be able to. With the construction, obviously, we've had a very large increase in traffic incidents, whether that tied down to speeding, the failure to obey sign is huge. The issues with people cutting through, going around the road closed signs has been pretty big, but it's been getting better. So we've noticed our citations more recently dwindle a little bit more, but we can still get we're still have a regular amount coming in every day. I think that's probably, we've got some other, the general calls. I'd say assist area is the next biggest, or I mean, sorry, check area is the next biggest, and those kind of calls range from, a vehicle in the area or a person in the area. But other than that, I'd say most of our efforts have been concentrated on traffic. We have been sitting pretty regularly. I can easily say I spend well over half the hours of my shift, not including my calls that I go to sitting traffic. So we do make a very good effort, and we do have to divide up our time. We can't focus on one road because everybody on each street does have a desire and a hope that you're gonna focus on theirs. And I understand that because you live there. I get it. You have a very vested interest. Completely understand. But we do have to kind of switch around and change up where we sit. And even sometimes it's the spots on each road that changes, things like that. But we really are, we are trying to make an effort to get where we're needed. When we have the complaints, and get after them as quick as we can. We just finished the training with the State Patrol, so weight issues will be easier to enforce. The ticket is getting built in more specifically to us into our ticket system, which I won't bore you with those details because I'm no tech person. It's gonna sound awful when I try to explain it. But so we're moving forward in that aspect too, Romy. I know it's not quite as fast as you want, but we're working towards what you're looking for. I can tell you that. It might not be the answer you want to hear, but we're trying.
How is the village? Are they ticketing people on end?
So.
For BB, I mean, on BB?
Oh, on BB. So honestly, I can't tell you with any certainty because I'd be lying.
You guys are out there, but I never see a village, and I live right there. I never see a village squad picking up anybody.
I mean, I can see where they go. So I do see the village sit. I don't know what their outcome is. I don't have access to that. I'm not privy. So I'm not sure if they're doing warnings, if they're doing tickets. I couldn't speak to what their choices are or their discretion as far as their outcome of their stops. I've seen them out there. But I mean, Jen is phenomenal with sitting on that road. She sits out there. She's got me beat even by ton. So she's hard to keep up with. That lady's got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Any other questions? Sorry.
Were you guys involved at all in the body that was found?
As far as all of that goes, all I'm really gonna say is I would be more than happy to tell everyone exactly what they want to know, but obviously that's not how investigations work. The only information I feel at all comfortable sharing is saying what's been released is really all that can be out there. The Dane County Sheriff's Office, the detectives are the ones heading the investigation. They're the ones really thoroughly involved, knee deep in everything. And from everything I've seen, they're doing a phenomenal job. They're really doing a great job figuring it all out and tracking things down. So I don't have much more to go on to give you, and I apologize. More than anything, I want to help. This is my community that I want to help out. But that's really all I've got to go on.
They didn't pull you off shift for any
No, sir.
any of that work though, did they?
You tell us where.
That's good.
I
I can't do that.
Anything, any other question?
can find it.
Yeah, if you, and that's fine. But if it's not in front of me, I don't speak to it.
Don't know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's nice to see you all.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Get out there and stop somebody. No, just-
Watch for this guy on the way home.
Romy over
Yeah,
here.
he speeds.
Move the red car.
Discuss and consider adoption of resolution 2021
Thank you. You guys have a great night.
7-19, authorizing the borrowing of $347,192, providing for the issuance and sale of general obligation promissory note therefore, and levying a tax in connection therewith. It's for the road work that we're doing this year.
Which will be paid back early next year.
By March 15th or something.
I move approval.
Motion by Duplace, second by Fonger to approve resolution 2021-7-19. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstentions, motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider approval of agreement to participate in the 2023 Dane County Natural Hazard Plan update.
This is something that happens every 5 years, but there's a difference right now because of COVID and all the stuff that happened. Well, there's 4 choices. You can read it yourself. You know what they are.
Mhm.
And I don't think we want to do any of the first 3. I just don't do it with Dane County because we're so limited on the things that we even would deal with that that's probably a better way of doing it. And so I would just say that you need primary contact, which I presume would be me. And then
Yes.
I'm not sure if somebody else on the committee should be, or maybe somebody else. I don't know what you want to do. Maybe even Dan might be a good secondary. I don't know, what do you think of that? Because you're not gonna have to do it, you're doing it now, see, so it's better that you're here every day. You'll get information and stuff like I get it, basically, so. Everybody go along with that, or,
Sounds good.
so that's
So.
gotta be put into this form and sent back.
So
we'll
we
go
want to
with-
do B, is it? Work with county staff to prepare
No.
a plan document that meets FEMA
Participate in the
guidelines.
countywide planning process.
That's what.
Yeah,
Fourth.
yeah.
Was
So
that
do
your
you need a
motion?
Yes.
So wait,
I'll second.
So I'm confused. What is it you don't, so you have to do everything that's below partnering local government responsibilities. That's what you're agreeing to, right?
Yes.
I'd actually say 2, really, participate in countywide planning meetings.
Well, you gotta do.
Well, there's a
everything.
couple
We're
things to
gonna
do, I mean,
Participate in the
yeah.
countywide planning process.
yeah,
And then it lists what the county's responsibilities
Yeah.
are, and then what our responsibilities are.
So everything in B, in A, you're just identifying your contacts,
Contacts.
and then everything in B is what you're agreeing
To do.
to do.
Right.
Yes.
yes.
So Mike made the motion,
I'll second it.
second by Christie, that we will participate in the countywide planning process, that Mike Fonger will be the primary contact and the alternate contact will be Dan,
My good buddy Dan.
and the emergency government committee will work on
Yes.
everything in
Yeah.
B.
Which we have been actually doing
Yeah,
already, so.
Yeah.
And there is a meeting on Wednesday, emergency management monthly check-in, which I plan on having that. It's at 11 o'clock on Wednesday. But I thought maybe I'd come down here and maybe we can put it on here,
Okay.
11 o'clock on Wednesday. You got a copy of that, the
Yeah,
Zoom?
I
You-
got the link to it,
Okay.
yeah.
So there was a motion and a second to approve. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Along that same lines, did you see that thing that I think for flood emergency action plan workshop? I don't know if that's anything we would have to worry about. Do you-
That's actually what we did when we had the Zoom meeting here. And Dan was here, we talked about the flooding of the creeks and stuff and
Yeah.
where we set up a plan where we would have places to bring debris and that kind of stuff. And we're lucky we have the dump right here, so
Yeah.
we're a little bit better situation than
Right.
most other parts of the Dane County.
Okay. Moving on to discuss and consider accepting a donation of 10 picnic tables from RG Houston Company. And you,
Pretty nice.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Were those on the back porch of the barn or
no,
where were they?
I was told that these originally were at AmFam
Really?
Oh,
and they had
Good
done,
thing nobody works there anymore.
and they had done work up there and got these.
Really?
I didn't see these when I was down there. I saw 3 other benches and I went and I asked him if he would sell those and he told me, you don't want those, they're garbage. He told me about these, that they would give those to us.
Wow.
wow.
And they're metal, they do have a hole in them for
Umbrella,
an
yeah.
umbrella if somebody wanted to put one in. Most of them all have backs. There were a couple that 2 chairs had backs and 2 didn't. They're metal. Dan looked at them, he thought that they would be relatively easy to move in the parks when we mow.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Pretty nice.
currently have a rubber bumper on the bottom that we would probably take off.
Yeah.
And
Just so they don't slide on concrete.
yeah, and they're paintable if we so desired to paint them.
Yeah, if they get rusty or whatever, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, this is a no-lose situation
Yeah,
for us.
exactly.
I mean, I don't know if we have any picnic tables that need replacing, or if we would just want to put one in every park, or
The supplement.
How many total parks do we have?
10.
10?
Perfect.
As of right now.
Yeah.
We have a couple green spaces. We have 10 parks.
Yeah, and I think they're gorgeous,
Yeah.
actually.
I move approval of, and with a note of appreciation and documentation of the RG Houston Company donation of 10 picnic tables.
Second,
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay to accept the donation and to write a thank you letter.
Right, acknowledgement.
Discussion on that motion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider posting the Janelle Lane cul-de-sac for no parking. When we get that done, I'm wondering, do we want to have no parking there so that
Yes, please.
you can get around now that we've built it?
Otherwise, the resident on the left is gonna have all of his cars up there.
Yeah, and defeats the purpose.
And I've also had calls from other residents on that lane, specifically saying, please, yes, put up no parking signs. The Hanekes, Mark and Joan
He
and Roger.
Didn't get
and
rid of his
Diane.
cars like he said he would. huh?
No,
He's got more.
no. He's got more.
There's at least 6, if not 8, at any given time.
And there's also a trailer in the right of way.
Well, how can you have that many cars? You're gonna be parking them outside. Don't we have rules on this at all?
As long as they're registered.
Well, that one,
that's gonna cost him just a ton.
that house on Violet
Less.
still.
They're
is
not
a
all
mess.
his.
People living in.
They're not all his, yeah. He's got multiple people living there, I think.
That's kind of, well, he did when he came in here, when we had all the initial issues, he had guests,
Right, yes. I don't think.
Well, no, but I think that's the
Yeah.
term he used.
I haven't seen the trailer though. I'll have to go down there tomorrow.
I
Trailer's
can show
been
you a
there.
picture.
Yeah.
Took a picture of it?
Yeah, well, I have to get my steps, you know, so I was walking down there.
Is it on his side at least?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's right here.
So I'll have to move that as soon as I get started.
yes, that's the one.
So it'll have to be moved before they can do the work.
Push over the bank.
You want a motion to?
Yes,
post?
if we want to have that as no parking area,
No, that's the cul-de.
just the cul-de-sac.
The cul-de-sac.
So it'd be from his driveway to the end
Yeah,
on both sides.
basically the both driveways to the end.
Good.
I move that we post Janelle Lane cul-de-sac for no parking.
Second,
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay to post Janelle Lane cul-de-sac as a no parking area. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Just an update, I did talk to Wade Houston this morning. They're still waiting for some of the utilities to be moved, which he said was supposed to be done any day now, and then they will start. And start the work of building the cul-de-sac.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They were waiting for utilities, hadn't all been moved yet. And I talked to him again about the block, and he told me he could get the brown now. So I said that was fine.
Yeah, I think it looks fine.
Are you gonna put a notice up on the stop sign about when work is going to start?
No, because they have to leave one lane open all the time.
Yeah, we told the resident in the back there, he'll be able to get to his house at any time.
That he can always get out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know that.
And Janelle has to have one lane open all the time.
And Oakwood as well.
Yeah, it shouldn't be ever blocked off.
Okay.
Yeah. They're gonna have that much
No, they're,
equipment there.
yeah, they're not gonna leave trucks at all. They're gonna take equipment in and then take the trucks out, is what they said.
Okay.
That's fine.
Discuss and consider attendees for the Wisconsin Towns Association Convention on October 10th through the 12th. It's in the last book. I don't know. Anybody have a wish to go?
can we just do it by Zoom here?
Doesn't seem like it.
Thought it was in person.
You know, at the Kalahari.
Yeah.
Do we have to decide right now? I might be interested in one day.
I could go on Monday, but that's the only day I want to go.
Well, when do we have to let them know by? Huh?
I think you got time, because the registration form isn't until the next magazine, so.
We'll put it on next month then. Again. The second meeting in August, we'll talk about it again. Public Works Department activity update.
Not a whole lot. Seal coating will start around August 5th to the 15th, they said. He did call me today and said that the reason they're waiting is because they want to do us in the village at the same time, because they got both contracts, so
Did we get all of the village's rock stored?
No,
That's just ours?
yeah, they brought in some, they got some piled down by the village building too, so.
Okay.
Yeah, well, some of it might be theirs too, but yeah. Whatever they could pile down there, they did, but it's pretty good pile down here this year.
Did they put any cones in front of it?
No, not yet. I know the one resident asked, we'll probably take a couple down there this week.
They should.
Yeah, they're still bringing rock in, so I didn't want them to run them over at all. So we'll take them down
They
this week.
should supply their own cones.
Yeah. Last year they left the trailer. I'm glad they're not doing that this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, business as usual.
Have you had any of last year's seal coating with the hot weather starting to bleed? I had a call from Deerfield and they had
Yeah,
bleeding from last year's.
yeah, theirs looks really bad. I don't know who does their stuff.
I don't know who did it.
There's Dvorak Road, Deerfield Road. They both got done last year. They both are really, really bad.
Really?
Yeah, whatever the emulsion they use, the tar, must be different somehow. There you can't even see the rock anymore. It's just black.
Yeah.
Just pushed all the rock right through it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, ours looks really good. West Ridge and them areas, if you want to look at what we did last year, they look really good.
No,
Okay.
not enough rock,
And Vilas. What's that?
if it bled through.
Yeah, they say that a lot, but if they use too heavy of an emulsion, so like
Yeah,
last year
like
when they put it
either
down,
one.
yeah, they top coat it with rock and it didn't push in all the way.
Yeah.
And now it gets hot, it pushes through it and then the oil comes to the top. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's not good either because then basically you're losing all your oil underneath the rock. That
Oh.
creates your barrier between the weather and your road. So,
Okay. What else?
all right, I got other.
Have you noticed in driving around, hopefully they're not in the road right away, but there's a bunch of dead trees or they're very close to the road right away?
Like, where are you thinking? I know out by me, there's a bunch of American Heritage.
I think that there's one on Vilas across from Orks Farm. That oak tree looks like it's dead.
You gotta be careful, the oaks are goofy, especially those ones. They don't get a lot of leaves on them.
And at the top of Nora Hill, when you're going east from,
That guy's front yard,
yeah,
I gotta measure that one.
it falls, it's gonna fall in the road.
Yeah, and then there's one on Sandpiper, did you see the one on Sandpiper in that guy's front yard?
Mhm.
That's losing all the bark right now.
Yeah.
That's only gonna fall one place too, all the way across Sandpiper.
And if they're their tree, we're gonna charge them for your time when you come out to clear the road.
I say we send them a letter first though, so we have documentation.
So,
I would send them a letter and tell, that's what we've done in the past, is send them a letter and tell them their tree
You need to
is in
remove this.
danger and they need to remove it.
Yeah,
yeah,
Because we don't want the liability of being on
No.
their property.
no,
Make sure it's theirs.
yeah.
it is, that one is for sure. I gotta measure that one.
I'm surprised that that big windstorm didn't knock a bunch of them down.
Oh, it did.
No.
Every dead tree up there is still standing.
Seriously?
What?
All the trees that got knocked down were
Oh, 'cause
healthy
they had
trees.
leaves. They got.
Yeah, they're
leaves.
heavy.
They
Yep.
were heavy.
Yeah, that neighbor of mine,
You know, the guy right across from Norm,
yeah,
or actually behind the guy across from Norm, lost the 8 trees in his
yeah,
backyard.
they lost a ton of
Really?
them.
He basically lost
We have a
every tree.
large pile of
Yeah,
firewood.
if you wanna look down below, that's everything we've hauled in. We still got a couple big piles to pick up yet.
So, yeah, you should probably come up with a list and we'll send them a letter to advise them that
Yeah, that one I know for sure.
they need to be aware.
There's one on the corner of Kennedy and Appaloosa. I drive by every day and I keep thinking that's gonna be in the road too. And that guy burns wood. I'm surprised he hasn't cut it down yet, but
Yeah,
the dude that works for Findorf, I forget his last name. He cuts everything down.
Mhm.
I'm surprised he hasn't cut that down yet.
it's too close. Okay.
Clerk's office.
Just business as usual. There's a lot of, is an off year for the election. There's a lot of housekeeping that goes on in Westford and notices that go out to people that haven't voted in 4 years and things to do when they come back or they don't come back. So some of that stuff I've been filling in my spare time with,
Do we have spare time?
like I said.
Oh.
Oh, and Friday's off?
That it?
That's it.
Board reports and communication. Have we heard anything more on that request for that broadband?
So Kathy Christoph has been doing a bunch of work. I actually just got some kind of good news, I guess, today. I told you about that. Our RODF rural, I don't know, but anyway, it's a grant or type of a thing that Charter won for a whole area in the town. That is supposed to happen in 23. And their line, there's a map. I think I forwarded all of you the link to that map, and you can see what area that covers. But it runs like right along Up-Off Road, and they show bringing service to everything south of Up-Off Road, but not north of Up-Off Road. And Kathy was wondering, can't we get that at the same time? And so he had one of his experts, I guess, analyze it and basically said it looks like if they're within 1,000 feet of a service drop or something like that, they should be able to. And so it looks like most of that will be covered. So I sent that to Kathy. She felt that was good news. The thing is, they don't want any town municipal money in that there's not an opportunity for the municipality to like buy more.
Yeah.
And there's also just something that I saw, and I don't have it with me, we can't think of what it's called, but there's another grant opportunity that has to do with recovery funds. And I asked if they thought we should be applying for that to facilitate any of this, and they said no. So, now they are working though on an estimate to take fiber out and plop it somewhere central on North Star Road. Not knowing where businesses might be, but just get it out there. And that is something that the town could choose to pay for. So that will be something we'll have for you eventually to look at. So that would probably be a benefit to everybody because it would attract businesses, and make them have better options as far as internet goes. But that's the only thing I've found that the town can really do with the broadband side of things for the grant money. So recovery fund money.
And we got all of our quick claim deeds
Yeah, the check to record
was
them was in those that you
tonight.
approved tonight. So we'll get that into the register of deeds. And she had an appointment. So there were 3 quit claim deeds on that same little triangle of property that we had so much confusion over. And then it ended up in the hands of one landowner that then she was going to contact with the offer for the easement. So she had 3 total landowners, but I know she was working on appointments with those last week. I haven't heard any outcome yet. But I think that's well on its way, yeah.
So we're making progress
We're
on it.
making progress
So
finally.
they keep on their
And
timeline.
the people of who's signed, the other 2 that signed up on that quit claim deed were very happy to do that because they had that kind of hanging over them all these years. The one couple had been paying taxes all this time rather than go through the hassle. It was like $2 a year, but going through the hassle of trying to get it cleared up. And the other people going back further in time thought they signed a quit claim deed before to clear it up, and it must have never got recorded. So they were both very happy to do it. So, yeah.
Hopefully we'll have our bridges done next year.
Yeah.
Good.
Committee reports, Deer Grove VMS.
Very busy month in June, one of the highest for calls. We also had good in June. Always nice to see that happen. And the town of Sun Prairie has given notice to Marshall that they are withdrawing from their service. And so Eric is going to be meeting.
Is that the entire town of Sun Prairie, or is it like bits and pieces like we have in Pleasant Springs?
That's a
I
good
think
question.
it's pieces, because I think city does some and Marshall does the rest.
Eric's on.
It's a complete withdrawal. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
It's a complete withdrawal. Marshall EMS covered the entire town of Sun Prairie.
Okay,
Really? The entire town of Sun Prairie they covered?
yeah.
That is
Yep,
weird.
all the way over to, I mean, what is that, Reiner, basically.
Wow.
And all the way, holy smokes, yeah, I
That's a
mean,
long road.
and that's, it
Yeah.
goes far, it went pretty far north too.
Interstate to basically 19.
Okay,
And you're thinking of going after some or all?
Well, we've got to see what they want and what their process is going to be first before we can actually make that decision. But I believe it's worth talking about.
At least portion of it, you bet. I mean, some of it's right in our backyard.
yeah.
Correct.
So that's a year from now?
They're done
that
the end
same
of this
thing, like-
year, aren't they?
No, end of next year. It was essentially an 18-month notice.
Okay.
Any reason for the pulling out?
They felt the costs were getting a little out of control for Marshall, is what I understand, and thought that they can control costs better with somewhere else.
You know how much they were paying Marshall?
Yeah, it's all public record. So we know what the facts are and where we're probably going to have to be competitive, especially with the city of Sun Prairie. So knowing those numbers, we'll see if we can make it work. And if it can't, there's no sense in involving ourselves. But we at least have to know what process they want to go with before we can advance that process ourselves.
And has PAA started anything yet?
They should be starting here pretty quick. We got all the contracts in hand, lawyers reviewed, going back to PAA for their final approval.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Eric was out this morning on wireless directing traffic and boy, he was taking charge of everything out there. Man, he's special.
Yeah, I even gave some advice to the tow company. You know, I got to do it all.
That van looked like it was gonna roll down the ditch any second.
Oh, it was held secure by the culvert. No worries.
Yeah.
No, before the tow truck driver got there.
Oh yeah. No, it was on the culvert, so it was pretty stable.
So Eric, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
As to an incident at Market Day. A dog bite on an individual that we refused to do service on until police were notified?
Okay, I'd have to investigate more. I can't comment without looking at the specific incident on the our patient care report and whatnot. So, but if you need me to look into it, I can.
If you'd look into that and email Kim and she can share it with the board.
At Marketplace Days this past weekend.
Yes, Saturday.
Piggly Wiggly,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
That's weird.
Okay,
will do.
thank you.
I don't remember seeing a call for service for there, so we'll work it out. We'll get some answers for you guys.
I thought EMF was already there for Market
They
Days.
probably were.
Okay.
I think they were.
So,
We'll check.
okay. Anyone want to
I'm
do
moving to
number?
adjourn.
Motion
Taking
by
my motion
Clay,
back.
Second by Williams.
second by Williams for adjournments, non-debatable. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Recording is off.
Kim,
I